Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's the boy here, Wade Morris, back, owner and pitmaster of Tremendous Q. I got a really good one for you guys today, and I got a surprise as a matter of fact. So make sure you guys stick it out through the entire video, and you'll see what it is that we got. So in this particular recipe, I'm doing this one with the lovely Mrs., my better half. You can check her out at sippinglifeslemonade.com or at siponlife. Today we're going to be doing what's called the Hex-Mex Burrito wrap, officially dubbed by my better half. So we are cooking a chicken and steak burrito wrap. We're going to add in a little bit of onion, a little bit of tomato, a little cheese, and then I don't want to say too much more because I might actually give away the surprise. So stick around, make sure you guys check it out, pay attention, and if you got other things that you want to see, make sure you leave a comment down below. All right, let's get started.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get started with our steak. Now, this steak we're using is New York strip thin sliced. You can use anything for this. Tri-tip will probably go really well, but we're going to go ahead and get it taken out of the packaging and then get everything rinsed off so that we can bring it back and put our seasonings on there. Now, we are using a Grill Mates black peppercorn seasoning, and that calls for a cup of extra virgin olive oil and a cup of water as well. So we're going to go ahead and get those two thrown in there. But the wife and I, because we're cooking at McMorris's, we like to doctor things up a bit. We never just go with exactly what the packaging says. So we also are going to throw in our house blend Cajun Seasoning. I think it's going to really kick this thing up a notch. We're using that on both the chicken and the steak. So with that in there, now we're going to go ahead and add our Grill Mates black peppercorn. We're going to get the entire package contents emptied out. Don't worry about the blobs in these packages when they come out like that. Sometimes it's just the way that they are, the way that they're packaged. But once it starts mixing with the water and the oil, it'll start breaking down real well so that it can marinate into the meat. I'm going to go ahead and speed this up real quick so you guys can get past the boring part and you can see what everything looks like once it's all mixed together. And then we're going to go ahead and move on to the chicken.
Okay, so we got our steaks in a marinade. We're going to go ahead and let that sit for a little while. I'm not 100% sure how long. I think the marinade pack says something to the effect of 1 hour. So I don't know if we're going to make it quite that long, but we're going to let those sit. We're going to take care of everything else that we need to, get the chicken prepped, and then we're going to be back, get it all thrown on the grill, and then assembled here at the very end. So stick around, check it out. We'll see what's up next.
All right, and that would be chicken. So we're just going to use a regular chicken breast for this recipe. Real quick, I want to shout out to my butcher. If you guys really pay attention, you can see how large this chicken breast is. This is just one chicken breast, and it is not what you would get at your regular grocery store. This thing is about almost 3 times that size. So like I said, we're going to go ahead and get this thing rubbed down. We're just using the regular Cajun seasoning, and with the chicken mixed up, we're going to go ahead and set this to the side and let it marinate as well.
Okay, so we got the pit fired up. We are the 22.5-inch kettle grill. Show you guys a picture of the meat real quick after it's been marinating. As you can see, the steaks look real good, ready to go. And on the chicken, we haven't been letting this sit too long in the refrigerator. That sweating process doesn't happen as fast as it does as if you were to just leave it right on the counter. So we're gonna go ahead and throw these on the grill. I'm starting to get hungry. Shouldn't take any longer than half an hour tops for all of this meat. Use some charcoals that we did yesterday from a previous cook. We're gonna get them on, they're already hot. Let this meat cook through and through. We're gonna cook everything until it's well done because we're not eating the steaks like on a regular plate just by themselves. We're gonna cook these bad boys through and through. So let's head to the grill.
All right, so we got our steaks on already. We are throwing on our chicken as we speak. As you can see, I put my steaks on pretty much right over the charcoals. For my chicken, I'm putting around the outside. The outsides of my pit right here tends to be a little bit cool or hotter, I'm sorry, than right about here. So that's where I want to get my chicken, especially those pointy ends. I want to make sure that I don't have any pointy ends directly over the flames or directly over there outside of the edge of my pit. So we got our steaks going. We're going to close this up real quick before we start to get any real big flare-ups. And then we'll be back to flipping the meat over and probably pull the meat off and then pull it off shortly after that.
Alright, so with our steak and our chicken on the grill, we're going to head back inside and get our tomatoes and our onions cut up real quick. We're not putting a lot of extra ingredients in these things. We really just got the store-bought cheese, the tomatoes, and the onions. So we're going to go ahead and get these things cut up and then set them to the side, go back out and check on our meat.
All right, so the chicken's been on and the steak has been on for about 5 to 10 minutes. We're gonna probably have to flip these bad boys real quick. Let's see what they're looking like. Oh yeah. There we go. You know, one of the best things about starting with a good cut of meat is that you're almost always guaranteed to end with a good cut of meat as well. So these are looking really good. I'm gonna go ahead and close the lid. We're gonna let those sit for a couple more minutes, probably 5, absolutely no more than 7 or 8, and then we'll be back out here to pull them off.
Why are you using my grill?
Dun, 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 dun.
Why are you using my grill?
Okay, so I bought the George Foreman for the wife. However,
It's a grill.
I can't argue. I cannot argue with this thing's simplicity and its ease of use. It is incredibly handy. We use it. Well, I take that back. My wife uses it on a regular basis. This is the first time we've had it for about 7 or 8 months. This is the first time that I have actually pulled it out in order to use. But like I said, my excuse, I'm using this in a combined recipe with the wife. I have nothing against the George Foreman griddle. Just being a barbecue aficionado that I am.
Grill, not griddle. Grill.
Griddle. Griddle. I have nothing against the George Foreman grill. Shh. We don't want her to know I called it that. I have nothing against the George Foreman grill. This thing's simplicity, its ease of use, how convenient it is, and how fast it sets up and heats up. You cannot argue with that at all, especially in today's society where people are working all day and you just want to come home and have something real quick, maybe with a little bit of char on it. So we're actually going to fire this thing up, and then we're going to pull the meat off the pit, and we're going to go on here. We're going to wrap our burritos up, and then we're going to throw them in here just to sear them off. We're not doing any real cooking. We're simply just charring it off and giving the outside of the burrito a little bit of a griddled, giving the outside of the burrito a little bit of a griddled taste. All right, so let's go pull this meat off, get these things wrapped up, and get them thrown on the George Foreman.
All right. We are almost done. So we got our chicken and our steak pulled off the grill. We're going to put this to the side so we can start chopping everything up. Again, remember, we're making burritos. We're not just eating these things regular. So we're going to chop these up into pretty bite-sized pieces, probably about the size that you would give a small child. So we're going to go ahead and speed up the camera real quick. Let's get all the chicken cut up, get all the steak cut up. We already got our tomatoes and our onions done. We did those a little bit earlier while the meat was actually cooking. So now with everything chopped up and ready to go, we're going to pull our burritos out, and then we're going to get these things assembled and wrapped up with all the ingredients. Alright, so now for the burrito assembly. No real trick to this thing, just really however you want it. A couple of key notes though, because you're going to be folding this thing up. Definitely don't want to stack the ingredients along the outside, and you definitely don't want to stack the ingredients too high. So I'm going to be adding everything to this burrito. We're starting off with chicken, steak, tomato, onion, and we're going to be adding liquid cheese as well. And then remember, when you start folding it in, you want to bring all the sides in, but you want to bring them about to what would be the center of the burrito if you were balancing it on a pan or your finger and you were spinning it. So that's so that you can get an evenly shaped burrito, and once you put it on the grill, the thing doesn't look 6 different ways of crazy. You just have a nice, very evenly shaped 6-sided or Hex-Mex burrito. And don't worry if you don't get the fold right on the first time around. That's the beautiful thing about YouTube. You actually be able to stop this video and go back, and you can see me fold this one again. Or I'm actually going to make 2 more burritos immediately after this. I'm going to speed up through the process, and then on the second burrito, I'm going to slow the video down again so that you can actually see me folding the 6 sides in towards the center of the burrito. And this demonstration is really just for you guys. I wanted to give you a couple of different options for showing you how to fold these things in. So I did it once at the beginning. I'm going to speed it up through these next two burritos, and then we're going to slow it down so you can see it again at the end. Remember, there's no real rocket science to these things. You guys probably aren't folding up six-sided burritos on a regular basis, and to be 100% honest with you, neither am I. So if you don't get it right the first time, just let the center of the burrito go, let the sides fall back to where they were originally, and try again. These are pretty pliable burritos, and they're very forgiving. So with that, let's go ahead and head over to the George Foreman. Now, for our final step, we're going to go ahead and set the George Foreman to 400 degrees, and we're going to throw two of these burritos on here. Now, real quick, you'll notice when I lifted the lid up, the clock said 5:37. I'm putting these two burritos on. I'm going to drop the lid, it'll say 5:38, and when I open it again, it'll say 5:55. I did not have these things cooking for 18 minutes. I actually managed to cook 3 or 4 burritos in that time frame. So now with these things done, we're going to go ahead and pull them off. We're going to cut into one, get them plated, and I'm not gonna lie, I had to sneak a bite real quick. Even though I was on camera, I told the wife I wasn't gonna do it, but these things looked really good. So let's go ahead and take a real quick bite and see what they taste like. And spoiler alert, speeding to the end, these things were tremendous.
All right, surprise. So yes, we own a George Foreman grill. No, it is not blasphemy. It is the wife's grill, but it's the first time I've broken it out, but we actually had a really good time with it. So the wife and I cook together. It's one of the things that we like to do to get a little quality time, especially now that we have kids and they're starting to get a little bit busier with school and sports, so on and so forth. So time is the one resource you can't get more of. So we both love to cook, and what a wonderful way for us to spend a little quality time together by doing it there in the kitchen. So like I said, with this recipe really just came out of when we were walking through the grocery store and we went through the frozen food section, and the wife saw this and she said, hey, do you want to try making it? And of course, anytime I can fire up the grill, I'm all for it. So we had a really good time. Everything blended really well. The food turned out great. The steak was juicy. The chicken was juicy. The onions, the tomato, everything blended together really well. I think the only thing I would really change is probably adding pineapple or maybe a pineapple mango salsa to go and pair along with the burritos. I'm a huge fan of salsa. I love my cilantros. I love my red onions. And I think that would just pair really well with this recipe. So thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate you guys' support. Go ahead and leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Be sure to subscribe and hit the thumbs up button for more videos like this. And we'll see you guys for the next video here at Tremendous Q. All right, later.